Hello! It's me again. Welcome to Porch Talks with Melonhead, episode 2. So, what are we going to talk about today? What's this? It's Remedy Cold Brew from The Coffee Ethic, a great espresso place in Springfield, Missouri. That cold brew, perfection. Which reminds me, I'm really into coffee, and I'd like to delve a little bit today into some of my favorite coffee shops that I've ever been to. Coffee Ethic makes it on one of the lists. It's here in Springy. It's a great coffee shop. I love it. Baristas are great. The vibe is great. The espresso. I once had a pour over there that changed my life. It was a single origin Colombian roast, and it was like pink bourbon, and it was like fermented over 120 hour period, and it was like the most unique, beautiful thing, and it had like these hints of like fruit and sangria, and it was one of the most enlightening coffee flavors of my life. Yes, it was truly amazing. Some of my other favorite coffee shops. Let's start with Four Seasons Coffee in Shinjuku, Tokyo. That's an amazing coffee shop. It's one of my favorite things ever. Why, you ask? Well, for one, the baristas are the nicest people ever. And just the whole vibe is super cute. It's a little roastery in Shinjuku, and it's kind of hidden away in a couple like kind of more back roads, and it's just by the Shinjuku Sanchome train station, and that's a really good place. I went there a couple times a week while I was in Japan this past summer, and that one's a keeper. It has the best iced latte specifically ever. It's just so good. I got that almost every time I went. They also had this Oreo cheesecake. Oh, that was good stuff. And yeah, just the whole energy was awesome, and it quickly became one of my favorite coffee shops. Another one is, hi Maddie, are you going on a bike ride? Have fun. That's my roommate. One of my other favorite coffee shops in Tokyo is called Coffee Valley, and it's in Ikebukuro. It's on the east side, kind of hidden away. I actually looked for it once, and I couldn't find it. I had to go hunting for it a second time before I could even find where it was. And that's a really good coffee shop. It's 3 floors, but, each room's pretty small. And it had really, really, really good espresso. They had this Ethiopian espresso that I had in a cappuccino, and it was very good. I frequently went there with 2 of my friends, specifically to study after class, and man, did that just make it better. Some good coffee cannot go wrong. And while we're talking about coffee places in Tokyo, there's the Nozi Roastery in Harajuku, and that was really good. They had one of their very unique drinks was coffee lemonade, and that was interesting. I didn't know how I was gonna feel about it, but it's so good. Like, that was one of the coffee things I learned in Tokyo, was that there's so many things you can do with coffee that you just never really think of, and it turns out to be amazing. And one really cool thing about this roastery was they did like a coffee cupping. And so in the evening, one night a week, they would put out little cups of all of their espresso and coffee roasts, and they would put little like palette cards, and you would be able to like kind of help learn how to detect like hints of flavor in each coffee. And so that was a test of the coffee knowledge I already had, and also helped stretch me to increase my coffee palate and develop it a little more, and that was really cool. What else? Onibus Coffee, Nakameguro. That was a really, really cool little place next to the Nakameguro train station, and it's kind of a quieter area of Tokyo, and I kind of got there just by hopping off the train, like, okay, I don't know what this is, let's find out. And I ended up finding one of the coolest places ever. Nakameguro as a whole area is really, really cool. It has a lot of small shops and boutiques, and while I was there, I found Onibus Coffee, which has really good cappuccinos, really good iced lattes. Like, their espresso is very solid. And I guess one of the very unique drinks they had is this coffee beer. And that's another example of, like, how do you make beer out of coffee? And they did it. You know, that's the thing that keeps surprising me, is the amount of things you can do with coffee. It's so fun. And yeah, so that was really cool. Probably my favorite coffee shop in Tokyo is All Press Espresso, and that was in Kiyosumi Shirakawa. And honestly, that is one of the best cups of coffee that I've ever had. I ordered a cappuccino from there, and I remember specifically that it was one of the best things I've ever tasted. So good. I consider it to be the best coffee in Tokyo that I had. But that's the thing, like, I loved all those coffee shops for different reasons. And, you know, so it's hard to be like, this is my favorite one. But, like, when it comes to the absolute best coffee, All Press takes the cake. And then I got 2 more coffee shops I'm going to talk about today. One of them is Messenger Coffee in downtown Kansas City. That one's just a staple for Kansas Cityans, and it's a really, really fun place. They share the building, if you're not familiar, with Ibis Bakery, and Ibis Bakery hits you with these fresh milled grains and all these amazing fresh baked pastries, and then Messenger comes at you with freshly roasted, amazing, incredible espresso and coffee blends. And they have the biggest espresso roaster I've ever seen. Like, their coffee roaster is huge. It takes up, like, the whole second floor, essentially. And it's pretty cool. That one is a fun experience. I love going up there and sitting on their rooftop seating. You get a really great view of downtown Kansas City from there. And I just love it. And then my number one, my ride or die coffee shop is Post Coffee in my hometown, Lee Summit. And I just love that place. From the quality of coffee to the whole vibe to all the baristas that helped make it such, like, a staple for me. Like, it's just pretty much unshakable as my favorite coffee shop. And I've made so many memories there with my friends, and that's, like, you know, that's a big piece too. But it's like, I can always count on walking into Post no matter what kind of day I had and leave in a better mood, because, like, the people there are great. I always go in there and see somebody I know, whether it's a friend that's a customer or it's a barista, and it's, like, somewhere that I definitely consider to be, like, a piece of home to me. And you know what, with this whole quarantine thing going on, that's what I miss the most. The first thing I'm doing when this all lifts is getting coffee with my friends Chad and Maddie. So you guys, Chad and Maddie, they're the best. If you're listening, love you. And yeah, you guys, so coffee, inspirational, amazing, delicious, perfect for any weather, any day, any circumstance. Always drink coffee. It's so good. If you don't have a caffeine addiction, well, good for you, but hop on the train. And then, yeah, please comment down below any of your favorite coffee shops, coffee inventions, coffee anything coffee related that you want to share. Pop it down in the comments, and then, you know, anything you'd like to see in future episodes of Porch Talks with Melonhead, pop it down below. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. That would be awesome. And yeah, you guys, hang in there. Stay groovy. Stay fresh. Stay home for now. Yeah, so bye.